Merhaba arkadaşlar. Umarım hepiniz çok iyisinizdir, sağlıklısınızdır, derslerinizi çalışıyorsunuzdur. Hello my dear students, I hope you are all well and you are studying very hard. And today we will start acting and we will cover the other parts of tragedy, the chorus, plot, structure, and then if we have enough time, we will go on with the Greek tragedy playwrights. So let's start with acting first of all. All members of the cast, including the hypocrites or actors, just know one of them, or the chorus, forget about the other name, choreography, members were male. So on the stage, the audience saw only male actors or chorus. Acting ranked in importance with athletics as a means of competition. Actors therefore had to be sturdy, pay attention, well-trained performers, pay attention, because the costumes and masks were cumbersome and slowed the actors' movements. O kadar ağır ve böyle şatafatlı geliyor ki hareketleri kısıtlanıyor aktörlerin. They also had to be competent singers as well because many of their lyrical lines were chanted to music. They also had to be competent singers as well as because many of their lyrical lines were chanted to music. Pay attention to this sentence. The role of the protagonist was assigned to a tenor. Forget about the other one. Or second in importance, the baritone. And the other one is bass. Bunlar müzikte görülen işte tenor, bariton ve bas diyebileceğimiz ses türleri biliyorsunuz. The mode of acting seems to have been conventional and stylized rather than naturalistic. This is important also. The mode of acting seems to have been conventional, traditional, and stylized rather than naturalistic. Doğal olmaktan ziyade daha çok böyle üsluplu olmak zorunda. But it could not have been too artificial, since many scenes call for lively, canlı, resmen karşımızda tiyatro oyunu oynanır gibi oynanıyor. Realistic action. On the whole, tragic performances must have been very stately and colorful spectacles, in which a pageant-like quality was derived from the brilliant costumes and organized movements of large numbers of plays and extras. This blending of drama, poetry, music, and dance, sahnede olan şeyler, created a solemn yet entertaining act of devotion to the gods. The participants took on a godlike status because they often acted the parts of deities. Actors joined an actors guild called the Artists of Dionysus. Dionysus şekline giren tanrılar oluyor bakınız. And were exempt from military service on the basis of their importance in the worship of Dionysus. They were highly thought of, often representing their country on official state business. Stars of the Greek stage were idealized and demanded outrageous salaries. Dolayısıyla bunlara ücretler daha önceden de konuşmuştuk. Yerel yönetimler tarafından veriliyor demiştik. Bunlar artık idealize ediliyorlar. Yani ulvileştiriyorlar. Çok böyle üstün kişiler olarak görülüyor bu aktörler. Şimdi geliyoruz koroya. Çok önemli. The chorus, the key to understand the meaning and purpose of theater, was the nucleus, center, from which tragedy evolved, came out, and it continued to have a central place in the drama throughout classical times. This is so important. It continued to have a central place, focus in the drama throughout classical times. The use of the chorus varied depending on the method of the playwright, oyun yazarına bağlı, and on the needs of the play being performed. But most often it acted as the ideal spectator, underlined, the conservative spokesman of the community, as in Oedipus Rex, wherein it clarifies the experiences and feelings of the characters in everyday terms and expresses the conventional attitude toward developments in the story. In some plays like Aeschylus' Suppliants, the chorus was itself a central figure, underlined, in the tragedy rather than a group of interested bystanders, a fact which had a direct effect on the size and nature of its role, but usually the chorus was not so closely involved in the action of the drama. Drama dediğimiz oyunun içine pek fazla müdahale etmiyorlar. In general, the tragedians use the chorus to create, pay attention, a psychological and emotional background. In general, the tragedians use the chorus to create a psychological and emotional background, neye? To the action. Through its oaths, it introduced and questioned new characters, chastised and admonished wayward characters, sympathized with victims, elucidated events as they occurred, established facts and affirmed the outlook of society, covered the passage of time between events, and separated episodes. As you can see, the function of chorus is so much during the play or plays. The trend in tragedy resulted in a decline in the importance of the chorus, caused mainly by the introduction of additional actors. More actors came to the stage, and increasing sophistication in their dramatic use, and also because of the more personal and complex nature of the stories selected for dramatization. With the passage of time, the proportion of chorus, pay attention, lines to individual lines decreased significantly. And the dramatic functions of the chorus, aside from the continued use of choral oaths between episodes, were greatly reduced. At a typical performance of tragedy in the 5th century, pay attention, the chorus, which often danced barefoot, çıplak ayakla dans ediyorlar sahnede, marched into the orchestra, chanting, singing the parados, and remained there, orkestranın yanında kalıyorlar, in formation, bir şekil oluşturarak, yanlarında durarak, until the end of the play. So the chorus is always on the stage. At various points, it divided into semi-choruses and moved around the orchestra to suit the requirements of the play. Its most important moments, pay attention, came when it changed the choral oaths to music. It changed the choral oaths to music, müziğe dönüyorlar, accompanied by stylized gestures and by a series of intricate group dances. At times, the chorus also engaged in a lyrical dialogue with one of the characters. Koro, aktörlerden bir tanesiyle diyalog haline de gidiyorlar. Konuşmalar başlıyor koroyla, dikkat edin, aktörler arasında veya birisi arasında. And made brief comments or inquiries during the course of an episode. Veya günümüzde act diye geçebilir. Perde diye alınıyor biliyorsunuz. İşte Act 1, Act 2 diye geçiyor. Dolayısıyla koro da burada dikkat ederseniz büyük bir önem arz ediyor. Daha önceki derslerimde de bunları size ifade etmiştim. Şimdi geliyoruz plot. Now come to plot. The stories used in tragedy, pay attention, were taken almost exclusively from the great cycles of mythology. Short. The stories in tragedy came from mythology mostly. Although occasionally, sometimes, as in Aeschylus' Persians eseri, a poet might draw upon a contemporary theme. İranlar üzerinde düşünün. Yani çağdaş bir temayı da o dönem için konuşuyoruz. Temayı da ele alabiliyor. These ancient myths and heroic legends were like a Bible to the Greeks. Were so important to the Greeks. Because they recorded what was thought to be the collective, pay attention, social, political, and religious history of the people. Burada da çok önem arz ediyor bizim için. Çünkü tıpkı bir kutsal kitap olan İncil gibi Yunanlılara da bu eski dönem mitleri ve kahramanlık hikayeleri önem arz ediyor. Ve bunlar kayıt altına alınıyor dikkat edersen. Nasıl alınıyor? Collective diye toplanmış bir şekilde. Neyin toplanması? Social, political and religious history of the people. They included many profound and searching tales about the problems of human life, underline the problems of human life and the nature of the gods as well. The custom requiring the use of these mythological stories in tragedy satisfied an essential requirement of the religious function of drama. Dolayısıyla bu tür böyle mitolojik şeyler, öyküler, nereden geldiği söylendi demin, trajedideki mitolojik hikayeler, draman dediğimiz tiyatronun istediği, temel olarak istediği, talepte bulunduğu durumların oluşmasına sebebiyet veriyor. For it enabled the poets to deal with subjects of great moral dignity and emotional significance.